Alright, what is up guys, NA4 here and welcome back to another episode of the Versus series. And today, we've got two powerhouses, two of arguably the angriest, the grumpiest, the meanest cartoon characters that you could possibly think of going head to head in a Versus challenge. I'm going to be putting these two up in different categories to determine which one is the better character. And I love them both, and they're both just great, alright? And if you want to see more stuff like this, drop a like, share, and subscribe, and I would appreciate it. But kicking things off with round one, who is the funnier character? And these two are just two absolute powerhouses when it comes to the comedy department. Okay, Squidward, he's known for just being a scene stealer. He's been holding it down for, what, almost 20 years, 20 plus years now. He's just a great character. We love Squidward, his sarcasm, how angry he gets, his facial expressions, voice acting is just top notch. You cannot go wrong with Squidward. And in my opinion, he's the funniest character in the entire show, okay? SpongeBob is great, Patrick is great, Mr. Krabs is great, but it's something about Squidward that just hits different. And Benson, man, he's just so grumpy, so angry half the time, but it's not really his fault. It's just because of his employees, in particular, Mordecai and Rigby, okay? Half the time, Benson not even a bad guy, okay? He just wants his employees to do their job. And half the time, it's like a simple task, but I gotta give it to Squidward, bro. He's hilarious. Putting our score 1-0. Now, going into round two, who is the better character? And like I said, I enjoy both of these characters. They're both very similar in the aspects that it's not necessarily their faults. They're not really the villains. And growing up, we used to think, wow, why are they always so grumpy? Why are they always so down, you know? But now that we're older, we actually realize that they're not the problem, you know? With Squidward, he just wants to relax. He just wants some peace and silence in his own house. And he can't even do that because of SpongeBob and Patrick. They're always patronizing him. They're always, you know, bothering him. And he just wants to chill, you know? He wants to be alone. Is that too much to ask? And with Benson, he just wants his employees to do their jobs, you know? He's not even a bad boss. If I was working for Benson, I'd be perfectly fine with that. He's not a bad person. He yells a lot, but it's for good reason. You know, Mordecai and Rigby, they cause a lot of damage. They just do way too much half the time, you know? And I love Mordecai and Rigby. So the fact that I'm saying that is honestly just, it's a fact that you just have to support Benson. You know, he's not a bad person at all. And with Squidward, he can't even enjoy just peace and silence in his own house or at work without SpongeBob, you know, all in his face. And it's a hassle. But they're both really, really good characters. And Squidward, he's been holding it down for years. He's pretty much a one-note character, honestly. But Benson, as the show progressed, has just grown so much. So I'd say he's a better character overall. So currently, it's all tied up 1-1. So going into round three, who is the more relatable character? Like I said, Squidward's personality, he's just a different breed of man. Like, he's one of the few people in Bikini Bottom who actually is sane. He just wants to work, make a living, go home and relax, just enjoy his clarinet, you know, just do some art, something like that. And he can't do it, you know. It's just way too much in his life that just bothers him and annoys him. And like I said, growing up, I just used to be like, why is he so grumpy all the time? Why is he so grouchy? But you know, it's just SpongeBob and Patrick. They're just really annoying characters. There's few people in Bikini Bottom that Squidward can actually tolerate. People like Gary, Mrs. Puff, Sandy, characters like that he's actually like, I can manage. But it was just SpongeBob and Patrick. They're just always on his ass. Whereas Benson, he's relatable in the sense like, dude, like all you have to do is just work. Like, imagine just telling your employees just to do an easy task, something light, and they just mess up the entire park, bro. They summon a demon. They just destroy everything. Like, there was literally an episode, he literally just instructed them to just screw in a light bulb, and they couldn't even do that right. Like, two grown men can't even screw in a light bulb properly. So I get Benson's frustrations. You feel for this character, bro. Like, it's honestly just a hassle. And it's like, you might as well just fire them, bro. I'm sure they've caused like millions of dollars in damages all around the park, bro. Whether they're destroying the house, destroying the cart, destroying the entire park overall. Like, they're honestly just menaces, honestly. So you feel for both of them. Both Benson, because he's a manager, so it's his job to instruct people. And it's his job to just observe and supervise everything. So it's not necessarily his fault that he's the way that he is. So I can definitely relate to Benson in that regard. But with Squidward just wanting to go to work and you not even wanting to be there, but then you got SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs just bothering you. Then you go home, then you got to deal with SpongeBob and Patrick. Like, they bothered Squidward so much to the point where he genuinely just moved to a whole new neighborhood. And it sucks because I remember, like, Mordecai and Rigby, they brought Benson to tears, bro. Like, that's crazy. Like, you got to be horrible employees just to, like, make your boss cry. Like, that's tough. Like, these two characters are just so, like we need to give them their flowers, bro. Like, it's honestly kind of sad now, like, looking back at it. Like, they just wanted to chill. They just wanted just simple peace and quiet, just a normal day. And they couldn't even get that. Like, it's honestly kind of sad. The frustration, the pain, and the tears. But I got to give it to Squidward, man. He's just a little bit more relatable. And going into round 4, we got character development. And there has been certain points in the show where Squidward has actually been shown to actually kind of like SpongeBob and Patrick, you know? It's a rare occurrence, but it is there. And 2 particular episodes that I can think of is the Krusty Krab Pizza episode, where you can see it in his face, you can hear it in his voice. He genuinely does feel bad for SpongeBob, you know? And he defends him. And that's saying something because Squidward despises this man. So the fact that he defended him actually says something for his character. And then there's another episode where Mr. Krabs sells SpongeBob's soul to the Flying Dutchman for 62 cents. 62 cents. And you know it's bad when even Squidward is like, bro, you know I hate SpongeBob. I despise that guy. But I know you did not just sell this boy's soul for 62 cents, bro. Like, it's bad. Like, so Squidward has been shown to have some form of character development, and he's not a great character. He struggles. He definitely has some flaws about himself. Like, dude can't even simply blow a bubble, bro. Like, that's tough. His jellyfishing skills are subpar, not that great. His character development is there, but I don't know. Dude is a horrible cashier, though. His customer service is whack. But Benson, on the other hand, he's actually pretty cool outside of work. Even as a manager, like, he's not a bad manager. It's just his employees. It's just the staff. Like, dude is actually a pretty good drummer. He's really talented at that. We saw he was good at table hockey. And really, the dude just likes to play the drums and eat chicken wings. Like, Benson is actually a pretty cool guy. Once you get to know him, once you get on his good side, he's actually a pretty, like, relatively chill person. Like, he doesn't have really any flaws about himself in particular. It's just the people he surrounds himself with. And I like that as the show goes on, you can actually see him starting to somewhat like Mordecai and Rigby. And you don't really view them as boss and employees. You look at them more of friends, honestly. And that says a lot because Benson, he's been through it. But yeah, this one goes to Benson, bro. Putting it 2-2. But in our last and final round, who is more iconic? It's tied up 2-2. And both of these characters, great. Some of the best characters in cartoon history. Both some of the best characters in their respective shows. Benson, great character. He's relatable. You feel for him. You understand his pain. You understand his frustrations. And, you know, he's it's not his fault, you know. I like Benson a lot. And growing up, you always used to just, you know, be like, oh, Mordecai and Rigby, love these guys. They're funny. They're cool. Stuff like that. But then, like, as you grow up and you mature, you really see why Benson is the way that he is. Why he's always yelling. Why he has anger issues. Like, this dude's completely bald from all the stress. Like, it's a hassle. But unfortunately, Squidward, like I said, he's been holding it down for over 20 years now. In my opinion, the best character in the entire show. Absolutely hilarious, classic character. You're bound to see a SpongeBob meme or something like that every single day that you go on social media. Whether it's SpongeBob or Squidward, like, it's just he's too iconic of a character. The voice actor, the design, you love Squidward. He's great. So I got to give it to Squidward, putting our score to 2-3 in favor of Squidward as our winner of today.